What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the Bitcoin Bull TBB today on this day, the 18th of August. Here we are sitting at just above 1 cent with roughly how many hours left in the day? 8 hours, 8.5? Yeah, 8.5 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. We are moving lower than anticipated. Absolutely, we are. Not a lot of volumes coming in. Oh, and we're dropping right now as a result of that. Let's see. Looking at this on the 15-minute time frame, a little bit of volume picking up there. Not a whole lot. Big spike in volume here. Over half that candle is a wick. Let's look and see. And it's not all like this, right? I mean, it could all be selling pressure, but every sell is a buy, every buy is a sell. We had a nice bounce afterwards. Looks like a lot of that was selling pressure though. Sudden shifts down. Yeah, that was a lot of selling pressure, to be fair. And we're seeing some selling pressure now, even. This is a phenomenal, phenomenal time to buy. We actually went just below 1 cent right there. Let's see. What price are we at? How much volume? 7,000. Did that just happen? 7,000. Yeah, somebody just full clipped 7K. That's what it is. We could probably find it in the transactions. Let's see here. And then a lot of little buys afterwards. A lot of these little buys here, man. You're going to see the price pump back up here probably very soon. $5,000. Wow. So $2,000 came in afterwards. 800 of that was in a sell order, and then a lot of this was, looks like, I would assume, bots probably buying the dip. So anyways, yeah, there we are, back above 1 cent. A lot of volume. A lot of volume came in. And again, I say a lot of volume, just a lot of volume relatively speaking. You zoom out, you can see that it's really not that much volume. Come on, right? It's really not that much volume at all, but it looks scary. It's intimidating, and that's kind of the point. It's meant to shake out the weak hands. It's meant to make you question your position. It's meant to make you sell the lows so that somebody else, the bots, the big dogs, the smart money, whoever they are, who's waiting to buy cheaper, can do so. And here we are. Here we are, just going below 1 cent, having a little bit of reaction. We got 24 minutes left in this 4-hour time frame. Let's see how it goes. As we're moving down here, volume is still decreasing. It is still decreasing. And we did break out of this little area here to the downside. We absolutely did. Volume picked up a little bit, but still in the grand aspect of all of this, it is still decreasing. I think we're still consolidating. We're still in this range. And I'm going to say the same stuff here that I said all the way back here, that I said all the way back here, is that consolidation, taking our time, is not a big deal. It's actually the preferred method. I'm glad that we're taking our time. I was expecting that we'd move up to the upside. My pride hurts a little bit. I was wrong. We moved down, but that's okay. Maybe in hindsight, there was something that was more obvious to the downside. We rejected the 50 plenty of times. We got lower highs. Maybe at this point I should have been bearish, or at this point I should have been bearish. Maybe not. I don't know. Here we are at the oversold zone. We do actually have lower lows in the RSI, which I'm not a fan of. That's not good. We're definitely seeing bearish conditions here on the 4-hour RSI. And we're getting bearish conditions in the price. For the bearish strength to be taking effect like it is, this really is not that significant to the downside. When we get bullish strength taking effect, we see some very significant moves to the upside. So again, the bears are having their fun, but this is all they have to offer. It's not that impressive. We look at this on the 4-hour, and there is some bullish divergence right there on the 4-hour RSI. Depends on where we close, depends on how we do it. We do need a green candle to confirm that, and that divergence itself is not that extreme, but that divergence would call for a move that probably is greater than 10% from here. So we'd go back above 1.1 cents, probably even above 1.2 cents. Typically, where these divergences form, lower lows, higher lows there, you typically go through where the divergence formed. So moving back up, we could get a lower high, and then we could move down, form some more divergence maybe, and then continue to move up from there. We could break through it, and that might be the breakout point where we actually move, where real volume comes in and we move to the upside. Either way, anything's possible. We'll see how it goes. You have bullish divergence on the MACD as well on your 4-hour time frame. And then looking at this here on the 1-hour time frame, we have we still got 22 minutes. Let's see how this closes. If we can close this green, we're going to have double bullish divergence on this 1-hour. And that's a little bit of icing on the cake there. We close this green, this red candle on the MACD won't be as deep. We'll have bullish divergence here as well. I'm seeing signs of readiness to turn around from this relative area. Now, when I say turn around, don't get too excited. I'm not talking about turn around like this. It could happen. It'd be nice if it happened. It's a little bit overcasty today, so it's dark on the camera. I just noticed that. My ring light doesn't work anymore, guys. I messed it up, but whatever. It's my fault. It's just a cheap piece of plastic. It came right off, but whatever. Anyways, if anybody's wondering why the ambiance is a little darker, it's because the price is moving down. No, it's because the ring light went out. I'm very much optimistic on TBB. Again, guys, same concept here that makes me bullish as we had back here, as we had at the highs, as we had all the way down here whenever we first bought. Same concept, right? We've got Jason Williams manning the helm, working tirelessly, putting in a lot of effort. I was going to say effortlessly, no, but with a lot of effort, as well as the rest of the community. And we only have a bigger community now. 3,900 wallets, 4,000 wallets. I don't know. It's everybody has a different number. I don't know where these numbers come from, but 4,000, 3,900, whatever. And we're just waiting. We're waiting right now. Again, there's not a lot of movement being had. The volume that's coming into the downside, I would attribute that to panic selling, irrational, emotional behavior. It could be intentional, intentional, let's say, price warfare, where people are trying to hurt the price. But at the same time, we've been doing this for so long. We already had this move down. I would think anybody who wanted to hurt the price, they've already had their time to do so. People who are... It's not that they can't be strategic, but people in this game typically aren't that strategic, man. They just kind of full clip it all at once and they're done. And this would have been the time to do that. And I think we saw that. This would have been the time to do that. I think right now it's just emotional, irrational selling. The benefit of emotional, irrational selling is that when we move up, those same people will probably turn into emotional, irrational buying as well and help boost the price higher, right? People who've sold throughout this range, I wouldn't look at them as people who've stepped away completely. Maybe some of them have. Maybe they're taking their earnings and they've gone. They bought their boat. They paid their rent. Whatever the case may be. They bought some food. Good for them. But I would bet a lot of money that a lot of the people that sold here, and in fact, 90% of the people that sold here will be buying back at higher prices. They absolutely will. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this is an awesome point to enter TBB. If you snagged it below 1 cent, good for you. Bravo. But it looked like a lot of bots. Again, whenever you have these little transactions that just come up after a big sell like that, and it's just all these little transactions coming up, I think that's bots. Just because there's bots doesn't mean that this is artificial price action. People get all freaked out. They've never seen this stuff happen before. Guys, there's bots on everything. There's bots on your US dollar trading arbitrage between Forex across the world. There's bots on Bitcoin. There's bots that do this everywhere. It's not expensive to take a bot, to buy a bot. You could buy one right now, and anytime the price shifts 10% to the downside, you have it start allocating money in, and it'll do it the same way. Like it's not fancy, and it's not manipulative. It can be. And with a low market cap coin like this, it's easy. It certainly is easy to manipulate the price, and I think there is some of that. We can see that here on the 15-minute time frame. But again, is it manipulation or is it just irrational behavior? This could be in part manipulation, and also it could be in part just different people panic selling and panic buying, at the right times. That's all. Look at that bounce. Look at that beautiful bounce right there. Beautiful. 15-minute time frame, bullish divergence on both indicators as well. I mean, there's every time frame, 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, all showing bullish divergence. So I'm definitely calling for a bounce here. Let's see. Let's look. Low to high. Where are we on the fibs? Low to high. We'll take 2 fibs. Take this fib. Right at the 0.5, kind of an odd area to find support. You would either find support at the 382 or you would go down to the golden ratio. You can find support here. This fib, as far as fibs go, is significant, but I think the most or the more significant fib would be the all-time high to our pivotal low here. And right there we have gone below the 382, which I personally didn't want to see. We still have 17 minutes left. We can come up. We can definitely move up and close above this 382, which would be positive. If we wick below it and we close above it, that's still okay. But if we close below it here, I'd really like to see that next 4 hour close above it. It's really rare to find support right here. You'd either find support right here or you find support right here. So we're in this in-between zone. We can go lower. We can go to 008, and that's fine. That's fine. We can do that. A higher low is not going to hurt the price, I promise you. But it might hurt your feelings for just a moment. At any rate, when we move back up, what we want to see first is a breakout of this trend. We want to see a breakout of this trend, so get back above the 382. Second, we want to get higher highs. We want to get above those highs, right? That's encouraging. And then third, ultimately, you want to get above this high. We get all three of those things. We officially have a higher low and a higher high dynamic. We've officially seen a significant retrace through the golden ratio. And at that point, all we're going to be talking about is new all-time highs. And even still, even from here, we can talk about new all-time highs. The next target areas to expect, 9.28 cents to 21 cents right there. That's the target area. That's what I'm expecting personally. And we could see a little bit higher. It is possible to go a little bit higher. We could go as high as 40 cents, guys, on this next run. And that's crazy because here we are at 1 cent right now. You're so early. You're so early, man. I remember all these people back here who thought that they were late, who wished that they got in earlier. They felt late. You're so early. Even here, I don't care if you bought here and you've been holding this whole time and you're DCAing, you're early here for where this thing's going to go. There are a plethora of meme coins out there that pump for no reasons. They just rally behind this stupid idea of this stupid thing, whatever, and it becomes a pop culture classic, whatever. And there's plenty of them that rally and they gain they gain high valuations because they're not stupid, but just because it's a meme and people get behind the meme, whatever. TBB, what's going on here, right? The Bitcoin bull meme is, in my opinion, one of the most bullish, if not one of the most memeable aspects in crypto. And we've got Jason Williams as, again, the man who's kind of manning the helm behind the Bitcoin bull, who's leading the way. This is his project. This is his legacy. This is what he's putting his time and efforts in. And we've built a very robust community around this. The same reason that people are bullish on this coin is the same reason why people are bullish on Anom. And I want to just, again, go over my initial thoughts on what brought us here to begin with. Why did I buy? I bought on day one. I literally bought on day one, and I bought a couple times afterwards as well. And then I did buy more. When was it over here? I think it was on the 11th. I think it was the 11th. That sounds right. About a week ago. Anyways, Anom. What made Anom so successful was that he acquired, whether it was through airdrops or purchasing or a little bit of both, whatever, he acquired like 60% or a majority percent, over half the tokens of this whole supply. And he started airdropping to his community as this thing pumped. He airdropped to people that were holding this token as it pumped, people who he wanted to get involved with this token as it pumped. That's what he was doing. And people rallied behind that. We saw massive growth. In that, Anom went all the way up to $400 million. Now think about this. You have somebody who still owns at this point, on a $260 million coin, 50% of the supply. At one point owned over 60%, I want to say. I don't know what the total, maybe it was 70%, I don't know. Jason owned 70% at one point, now he owns like 69%, 68%. Think about that. Think about how crazy that is. Somebody who owns majority of the supply, they own like 50% of the supply in one wallet. I don't care if one wallet owned 10%, that's freaky, man. That's if it's like one personal wallet, if it's to the organization, to the staking pool, mining, whatever, like if it's to something else, that's okay. If it's part of the protocol, that's fine. It's part of the liquidity pool, that's fine. But if it's just an independent wallet owning it who can buy or sell at their own free will, that's sketchy. That is sketchy that 50% of the supply is in one wallet, but it's less sketchy whenever you know who's behind it. It's Anom. Anom is a publicly recognized crypto personality, somebody that people trust, and he built that trust over the years that crypto's been in existence. He's built that trust for a long time. He's a crypto OG. He got in early, right? And then on top of that, that trust got built even further and sent the price up higher because he was airdropping to his community, because he was doing fun things with his community and giving people money, like actual money, from the quote-unquote rewards he's receiving as the price is growing in value. And now this thing looks like it wants to see new all-time highs. My whole thought here is that Anom went to $450 million. It looks like it's going to see new all-time highs. Looks like it's going to go there. Anom, by the time it saw $447 million market cap, by the time it saw that, Anom had 1 million followers. Jason Williams has about 300,000 followers. We're at a $10.5 million market cap. This doesn't translate exactly the same. It's not like this is a math equation and this X equals whatever. We don't know, okay? X being the total amount of followers that they have. The variable is the followers. We don't know what that impact has on the price. All we know is that Ansem had 1 million followers, and that got him a $440 million market cap. 300,000 followers for Jason, just under 300,000. That's about 30%. Let's say 25%. A quarter of that, a quarter of 447 million would be about $110 million. That puts us above our minimum target here. That puts us above 9.1 cent. $110 million. So again, it doesn't translate the exact same. A quarter of the followers that Ansem has does not equate to a quarter of the price, but I think that it at least equates to something. I don't think that it equates to a $50 million market cap. I would think that it would equate to something larger. Maybe we could see even higher than a quarter of that market cap, even though he's got less followers, because Jason is also plugged in. He's also, I think, more famous even than Ansem is. Maybe not. Maybe not these days. I don't know. Ansem's got like 1.3 million followers now. I don't know. I know Jason's integrated. He's got friends in high places. I'm sure Ansem does as well. But the market cap is dramatically lower here. And beyond comparing these two individuals as far as who's more famous, who's got more followers, whatever, the comparison I'm trying to make is not that. It's if this is how high this token could go with a figure like this backing it, I think that a figure like this guy, Jason Williams, who's also a trustworthy crypto personality, Bitcoin OG, who's putting in a lot of time, if not just as much time, more effort in his coin than Ansem is. And he bought all his tokens. None of them were airdropped to him. I could see this thing at least, at a minimum, acquiring a quarter of that market cap. Again, the relationship here is Ansem is the pathfinder. It's shown us what is possible, what a coin like this with dynamics like what we have here are capable of in market cap valuation. Jason has a higher supply. And the reason why 67.8% and 49.1%, the reason why this works, the reason why these coins are pumping, the reason why they work at all is because you have these trustworthy figures behind them. Most people in the space, most people in crypto, if they saw $10 million and they owned half of it, they would just rug pull on their community because they've never seen that kind of money before. They don't care about smearing their name, their legacy. They don't care about that because that $5 million is worth it to them. That $1 million, that $500,000 is worth it, whatever it is that they acquire from rugging their whole community. But for Ansem, for Jason Williams, these guys have billions of dollars in their own. They maybe not billions, I shouldn't, but hundreds of millions. If not, I think Jason is a billionaire. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I don't know him personally. I don't know Ansem personally, but they both at least have hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more. So they're not going to rug pull their community. This is more than just money. They have their own money. It's on the side. That's why this works. That's why this works. And Jason has even more supply than Ansem does. And on top of the supply that Jason has, you guys, going down to the top 40 here, he's got roughly 70% of the supply. He's got this wallet. He's got the distribution wallet here. That together puts it at about 69%, just under 69%. And then he's got another wallet too. I think it brings it up to like 69%. I forget what the other wallet's for, but it's smaller. I don't think it's in the top 20 even. I'm pretty sure it might be in the top 20. I don't know. I think it's one of these wallets, but those wallets excluded, we take the next top 40 wallets down. So there's basically Jason has like 70% of the supply. That means there's 30% of the supply free floating. The top 40 wallets control about 15%, a little bit more than 15% of the supply. That means there's less than 15% of the supply that's just free floating out there. We're taught this in grade school, let alone college, let alone real world life. We know this. Supply and demand. Supply and demand. If there's more demand than there is supply, price goes up. 85% of this supply, if not more, I think it actually is over 85% of this supply, is locked up in diamond-handed psychopaths' wallets who are not selling this thing, who haven't sold this thing, who have only acquired more of it as time has gone on. And the only wallet that has gone down in the top 10 that hasn't acquired more has been Jason's wallet. And the reason why it's gone down is because he's distributing airdrops, hosting poker tournaments, or maybe not even hosting, somebody else hosted it, but rewarding participants in the poker tournament, doing things that engage the community and just spread a lot of excitement, energy, good vibes, good times. I don't know. It's been fun. It's just beginning. We're at a $10 million market cap. If Anom can see a $447 million market cap, this thing could at least, I think, see a quarter of that. And again, it doesn't translate. The follower count doesn't roughly translate exactly to the price. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I would think we could see a higher price. Anom looks like it wants to see new all-time highs. If this coin can see a $1 billion market cap, this coin could see a quarter of that. 250 million. If this coin sees a multi-billion dollar market cap, Anom's talking about this coin going to $5. I think TBB could see a $1 billion market cap. Absolutely. Right? Again, the relationship here is not if this goes up, this goes up. If this goes down, this goes down. That's not the relationship. The relationship here is Pathfinder. This is setting the stage of which we are now walking out on, or walking up to, whatever the case may be. We're not walking out on you, TBB. We're walking out to the stage and having fun with this performance. Where we're finding support now is coincidentally right at the top of, before this area, before we got here. This was the largest consolidation phase by time that we had seen in TBB's life. Larger than this one, larger than this one, larger than this. It was larger than any other consolidation phase. The most significant consolidation phase that we saw before our all-time highs was right here. And we are finding support right now at that prior point of resistance. People are getting emotional. They're selling. All we're doing is forming constructive consolidation. That's all it is. We didn't break out of any channel. We're still here. And volume is decreasing. I call BS. I don't believe it. Go lower. We could still go lower and still be fine. Higher low is all we need. And then from there, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time, man. Time is all it takes, and time is on our side. I will see you on the next one. I've got nothing else for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. Take care. Bye-bye.